Hey there, Titch Nation. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing this look here. It's a really easy, like everyday kind of go-to look with a shimmery ombre eye. You could wear this to the supermarket. You could wear this to a ball. You could wear this wherever you wanted. I wore it with a neutral glossy lip, but you could pair it with any lip color and I feel like it would turn out nicely. You could do a dark lip for a pop, or you could do a bright pastel pink lip if that's your vibe. Anyway, if you'd like to see how I did this look, then please keep on watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and if not, I hope it gets better. Okay, let's get into it.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this look here. It's a super easy natural shimmery ombre eye using the shades from the Too Faced Semi Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. I used all the neutral shimmer tones from the palette to create this shimmery ombre look, and it's super natural, easy everyday kind of look, but you could wear it with like a red lip or something for a glam night out, or you could even just wear it with a nude lip if you wanted to wear this on a night out. I'm really happy with the way it came out. I feel like it's super classic, classy and easy, and if you would like to see how I did it, then please keep on watching. Hey guys, I'm going to get straight into the video with some primer. The primer I'm using is the NYX Angel Veil Primer, and I'm going to be using this foundation brush. It's called the Liquid Foundation Brush from Nude by Nature. It's kind of like a flat, kind of bristled brush, if that makes sense. It's more of like a liquid foundation brush that's a painting one more than a buffing one. I actually think that this primer from NYX actually does make a difference. I know I always talk about how I don't really feel like primers do that much for me, but I actually am going for this primer today because I think it makes a difference to my skin. What I think it does the most of is, one, if I just wore this primer by itself, it kind of blurs the skin and just kind of like evens out skin tone a little bit, very subtly though. Like if I was wearing makeup and wanted just one face product, I would rather go for a tinted moisturizer than this like primer. But the other thing I think it does is it stops my center of my face areas from getting oily for longer. Like it makes my makeup look flawless for longer. So this is the primer that I rate. It's probably the first one that I've noticed has made a difference for me, and it took me a while to like realize it was making a difference, and now I'm really into it. So yep, I'm changed. I'm a changed woman. I've been waiting for this day to come for me to get into a primer, and I'm finally into a primer. It's this one. Yeah, I'm really into the NYX primers at the moment. I also have that like marshmallow one that went really viral on TikTok, but I've been using that one more. But I will tell you if I do feel like the marshmallow one also makes a life-changing kind of difference for me. By the way, the foundation I'm using is the one I've been using heaps recently, this Rimmel 25-hour kind of lasting finish one. It's one of their like classics. Oh wait, I forgot to get my mirror. I'll go grab that, one sec. But yeah, so I'm in a really good mood today because it's springtime. It's just become spring. Spring has sprung here in Sydney, Australia. By the way, I have a lot of breakouts because I've been spring cleaning, but that has also put me in a good mood. So I'm not bothered by the breakouts. It's also that time of month for me, so that could also be why I'm having breakouts, especially around the like chin and like mouth area. Like this kind of area for me is like a area where if I get hormonal breakouts, that's where they'll go and be. But I also think it's because I was spring cleaning a lot, and like the dust was like, I was really like dirty because I was dusting a lot and like you know, digging around through like old papers and things like that. I just feel like it was a dirty chore to be doing my spring cleaning, so I feel like that also made me break out a little bit. I have a couple of like small, like you can't really see them anymore, but like tiny little like whitehead kind of pimples, which I feel like are just from like clogged pores, and I had some on my like chest and like the sides of my arms and stuff, and so I feel like that is probably just like clogged pores from being dirty because I've been cleaning. But that's okay because those will go away, and pimples are not permanent, they come and go, and you know, I can always cover them with makeup. Also, if you can hear my parents in the background, I don't know what movie they're watching, but they're always loud when they're watching movies. They're always like, especially my mom, she's one of those people that like when she's watching a movie, she's like, oh no, when something goes wrong. Like she's always really expressive. And my dad's always like, stop yelling, Jennifer, we'll miss the plot. And she's like, what's happening? Like they're really loud movie watchers. So I feel like you can always hear them in the background. Hope you don't mind. But yeah, that's the foundation pretty much done. I do think that there are a couple of little brush stroke hairs. So what I do to try and remove those is I just like tap over those areas and try and like remove those hair like strokes in the base. I'm going in with some concealer also from Rimmel, the Lasting Matte concealer. I really like this one. I thought I was running out, and then I took out the stopper, which I showed you guys in my recent video on how to get the most out of your makeup. And now I've got access to heaps of product, and so that product is going to last me way longer because now I can use all the product in the tube and the stopper is not in the way. If you want to see that video, I like talk about all sorts of methods in it about how to get the most out of your makeup, because I find a lot of the time like we don't use up our makeup all the way, or you know, you use up a product to a certain point and then you feel like it's difficult to get the rest out of the packaging. And so I kind of talk about that more in that video if you'd like to check that out and get more bang for your buck for them from the makeup that you love. But yeah, I'm just blending that in with the same brush. I go through foundation brushes pretty quickly just because I try and rotate my foundation brushes. I don't want to be like reusing the same brush for like a long time because I feel like bacteria stays on the brush, and I want to change the brushes out so that I'm not like clogging pores, like putting bacteria back onto my face. So generally when I'm doing like base layers, I try and use like the same brush for as many things as I can. For example, I just use this brush for primer, foundation and concealer, and then I'll probably chuck it straight into the wash. And that's how I like kind of keep my brush rotation going. With some products I don't worry as much. With foundation and primer and stuff, I feel like because it's a damp product, like the wetness, I don't know, I just picture bacteria growing on that for a longer amount of time. Some brushes, like powder brushes, I don't clean as frequently. I still do clean them like pretty frequently, like no more than like 4 uses max. But you know, I would use them a couple more times and they would get a little dirtier before I do wash them. So this brush is just a giant fluffy powder brush from Real Techniques, and I'm powdering my face with the Bourjois Healthy Mix powder. Just kind of sets the face, adds a little bit more coverage, not that I really need it, but it does. Kind of mats down the look of the foundation I was wearing earlier. You can leave that foundation without setting it with a powder. I just prefer to use a powder just because I feel like other powder products that I use afterwards lay better on top. But if you were using like a cream contour, I wouldn't go in with a powder necessarily. You don't really need to. I do like this powder though. It's the Bourjois Healthy Mix one in the shade Vanilla, and I think it has a really nice scent, a nice amount of like light to medium kind of coverage. I wouldn't wear it by itself as like a powder foundation, but it is just a nice pressed powder, and it's the one that I've been using recently. This is the one with the domed lid. I used to have the one with the flat lid, but I use that up completely. I'm going in with some bronzer next, and this is the L'Oreal Wild Bronze Glow, and I'm going to be using a different brush. No, you know what? Let's just chuck this powder brush in the wash. No, here it is. Okay, I was like, which brush am I using? This one is a like blush brush from Real Techniques. I usually use this for bronzer though. You could use this for blush. Like, it's not bad as a blush brush. It's just kind of large. When I first got this, I wasn't really into blush, and so I never used this brush for blush, but then I've actually gotten really into blush recently, and so I actually have used this for blush a couple of times, and it was actually not too bad. It's actually a really nice fluffy brush, but I prefer it for like bronzing and contouring just because I feel like if I was to rank them, I'd still go bronzer, most important for me, and then highlight, and then blush still in that order, just because I don't know, I'm just a bronzer kind of person. It just adds so much to the face, it adds warmth, and you can kind of blondes, like blush and bronze. Like, I take the bronzer really high up the cheek anyway, and it just adds so much warmth and like summery glow to the face. This one's a really nice one. It doesn't have too much of a sheen, but it does have a little, it does have a sheen. Like, it's not a matte bronzer is what I'm trying to say, but it's not too sheeny that it like looks unnatural, like shimmery or like glittery on the skin. It just adds a really natural like skin-like finish to the bronze, and I'm really into it. It's definitely one of my favorites that I've tried so far from the drugstore. Also, I'm really feeling my outfit today. I know that's like really off topic, but like, this is off the shoulder top that I've had from, it's from a brand called New Look. I can't remember how I've got it because I've literally had this top for like more than 5 years. I love this top. I've probably had it for like 10 years. It's just a classic, and it always looks cute and like it's so classy. And then this is my necklace from Vivienne Westwood that I got from DH Gate. If you want to see, I have a whole video up on that, and it still looks cute even though I've had it for a while. I had some questions on that video, like in the comment section, if it still looks cute. Like, yeah, it does, and it hasn't tarnished, but I also don't wear it every day, so I don't feel like I can comment too strongly on that because it's not like I'm wearing this every day, wearing it in the shower, that kind of stuff. It's one of those pieces that I just kind of like put on when I feel like it, but because it's not sterling silver or something like that, it's not one that I consider like an everyday piece for me. Pieces that I wear like every day are usually sterling silver. Like my rings, I rarely take these off because they are sterling. I know that they can survive going through the shower and stuff. Whereas like a piece like this, I don't know what metal is, and I kind of want to keep it for as long as I can. So I don't want to like deteriorate it faster than it needs to. Like, I don't know, I don't want it to like tarnish or something. So I try and take care of it. This blush I'm using is from Kylie, and it is in the shade Pink Dreams, and I'm using this brush which has no label, but it's from Real Techniques again. It looks like this. Hope that gives you a vibe. I'm just blushing my cheeks. This is a really light kind of pastel pinky blush. It's cute and matte, and it does the job. Let's go in with the eyes now because that's what I'm excited for. This is the palette we're using. It's the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette, and I'm going to be using these shimmery shades from this palette today. I'm using this brush from Real Techniques. It's the number 201, and it's a domed kind of eye brush. It looks like it's stained with blue, but don't worry, that's just like stain. It's not going to actually put blue on the eyes. And I'm going to go in with this shade down here, which is called Butter Pecan. It's a shimmery champagne, it's a shimmery champagne golden kind of shade. I'm just going to take this through the front half of the eye, maybe front third. Today's look is going to be like an ombre shimmery look, so I want to start with the lightest color and take it to the darkest color. I'm going to be using all the shimmers that are like neutral tones from the palette. I'm going to use all of them except for these two down here, just because I've done a whole tutorial on each of those shadows. This one is like a pinky rosy gold, and then this one is more like a caramello kind of golden shade, and I have videos like kind of inspired by each of those colors up on my channel already. So today's look is just about the other shimmers that I haven't really focused on as much. So next I'm going to take this shade over here. It's called Rum Raisin. And see how there's that dip in it? When I first got this palette, this is a tragic story. I accidentally dug my nail into that shade. I was like picking it up and I like accidentally dug my nail through, and I was like, no! It was a really sad day, but it's okay. I'm just going to pop this next to, oops, I got some under my eye. Oh well. I'm popping this at the front of the eye, kind of on the second quarter of the eye. I'm just packing it on. It's a light kind of shade. It's a little bit on the cooler tone side, to be honest. Despite this palette being a warm tone palette, there are some cool tone shades in here. So you can really build up a cool tone look or a warm tone look. It's quite versatile and I really like it. So yeah, I'm just popping this on the front third of the eye, blending it into that first shimmery shade. And this isn't perfect, like as you definitely tell. We will go back in later and do a little round of blending. That's my preferred way. I like to do like a messy placement of shadow first, and then I like to go in and blend after. This next shade I'm adding is called Frosting, and it's just this shade down here right underneath the darker shade we're going to use, and it's a kind of warmer toned it's a warmer toned shimmery brown shade. Really pretty. I use frosting in a lot of my looks. This shade has a huge dent in it. Actually, most of the shadows in this palette have a huge dent in it because I use this palette a lot out of all my Too Faced palettes. I think I've mentioned it before. This is probably my most used and abused because it's just so good. And then this last shade I'm going to be taking is Hot Fudge. I'm using the same eyeshadow brush for all of these because I'm working from light to dark. I can. It just is like that. So again, I'm just dipping into that shade Hot Fudge. Oh no, I have a little bit of hard pan. Let me scratch that off. Get out of here. I actually don't get hard pan that often on this palette, so that's a surprise. I've never actually had hard pan on that shade before either, and it's one that I use quite often, so it's kind of surprising to me, but whatever. It can happen to the best of us. I'm just taking that shade Hot Fudge on the outer quarter of the eye, just on that very outside area. And any fallout that happens under the eye, we can clean up later. And if there's fallout directly under the eye, I'm going to blend that in later and make it into a look. It's going to become a lower lash line shimmer. Anyway, that is all the colors placed down. Now I'm going to take this little blending brush. It looks like it has like color on it, but it's also just stained. And what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to dust off the fallout off that first. This is just the powder brush we used earlier. I'm just scooping the fallout off. That's something I find with Too Faced palettes is if there is any fallout, it's really easy to just like blend away. And since I've powdered my face already, it doesn't really stick to the face. I really need to brush my hair. Anyway, we're just going to blend until all those ombre colors blend together in a cohesive look, and we're going to be happy. I'm in a really good mood. It's just like spring has sprung. It's been sunny here all week, which has made such a difference to my mood. I don't know, I always feel so good in the summer when the sun comes and it's like sunny day, blue skies, clouds gone away. And it just makes me think like things are getting better. I'm in a really good mood. I feel like this eye needs a little bit more like brightness later. I don't know, I'll go in and fix it later. I'm just going to blend first. I like this brush so much for blending. It's the Real Techniques number 203. So I usually like to use that other brush that I showed you guys earlier. This one to like place down color because it just like, it's a really good placement kind of brush because it's like a more dense brush. And then this one is so fluffy and loose. It's just great to like blend, and I can really like get the look I want by using a combination of like placing, blending, placing, blending. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to drag the brush underneath the lash line just to blend anything that has come down here. And that's literally all I'm going to do for the lower lash, like eyeshadow. I'm just going to like blend that around and gives the look. I would like to do the same on this side now. I would like to deepen up this side a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that darker shade just on the outside corner there. We can always add more as we go. So if you feel like you're blending away too much color, never fear, more eyeshadow is always here. Yeah, I just made that up. Anyway, big brain things. Gonna blend underneath the lash line as well. On this eye, I think that I would like to take a little bit more of that shimmery shade. So I'm just gonna go in with this random little detailer brush and take up some more of that butter pecan, pop that on my inner corner and underneath that lower lash line just at the front there, just because I would like a little bit more brightness. And then I would like a little bit more at the front of this eye, especially of that shade Rum Raisin. I'm just going to go in with my finger and pack on some more Rum Raisin at the front there, which is that shade down here that we used, that second lightest shade. It's really pretty. It's like kind of a taupe. I don't know how to pronounce that. Taupe shade. And it's pretty good. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on some highlight now. The highlighter that I'm going to be using is in this Urban Decay Beached Bronzer packaging, but it's actually not bronzer. It's the MAC highlighter in the shade Whisper of Guilt. I'm going to be using this contouring brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to be popping that on the cheek. I would have used the shade from that little Too Faced palette that we were just using, except I really don't want to pan any more shades from that palette just because I'm going through some of those shades really quickly, and I'm scared of hitting pan because it's my favorite and I don't think they make that palette anymore. So I'm going to use this highlighter instead because they still make MAC Whisper of Guilt. There's a period of time when they actually discontinued this shade and they didn't make it anymore, but then they re-released it. So I do think it's readily available now. And if not, there are so many shades similar to Whisper of Guilt. If you want a dupe, I know that Oh Darling is so similar. You know, Champagne Pop from Becca is similar as well. It's one of those, you know, champagne golden shades. Okay, I'm going to go off camera now that I've done my highlight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on my lashes, my liner, and draw in my eyebrows. And I'll see you when I'm all done. I'm just popping a little bit of highlight on the detailed areas of my face just before I go. On like the brow bone, oh, makes such a difference up there. I did some on my inner corners already, so I'm just taking it down the center of the nose. Just gives the illusion of like a straighter, taller nose. I don't know, just defines the nose better. And then obviously on the brow bone, I place it down with my finger and then I blend it with my brush just to like diffuse it. Anyway, I'm gonna do my liner, lashes, brows now, and I'll see you in a bit. I'm back. I popped on my liner, my lashes, my brows. I brushed my hair. Also, I wanted to mention, do you guys notice that I changed my background again? I think it's really cute. I just changed a couple of the bags around, popped a Chanel box in there. I feel like it's like vibes. I don't know. I'm into it. I kind of feel like doing a little bit more bronzing on my nose. I don't know. I'm just going to grab the brush that I used earlier and just like drag it down the sides. I just want a little more. I don't know. I just felt like it. Bronzed enough. Okay, let's go in with a little bit of lip gloss, and I think that's going to be it. So this lip gloss is the Honey I'm Home from Dose of Colors. Really pigmented gloss. One of my favorite glosses really that I've ever tried. It's just great warm tone nude. Great opacity, and I feel like it suits my skin tone. That is the completed look, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you didn't hear my parents too much in the background. My mom's always like, what's going on in the movie? And then my dad's always like explaining it to her. I don't know, they just are really funny, those two. They've been married for like, I don't even know, over 2 decades. and they're always really funny when they watch TV. They're a fun pair. Anyway, this is all I have for this video today. I hope you enjoyed this look. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. It is free. You can also join to become a member. That is not free, but you do get exclusive content from me if you'd like to see more. If you'd like to see even more from me, you can follow me on Spotify to hear the music I've been listening to recently. You can check me out on Flickr if you like dolls and toys. I post like, I don't know, like dolls there. If you want to see like more of just like me living my life, I'm an overposter on Instagram, so you can see spam from me on Instagram. On Pinterest, it's like aesthetic vibes. On Tumblr, it's also aesthetic vibes. You can follow me on those two places as well. Visco, I post more pictures as well. I'm trying to think where else I share stuff. MySpace. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Peace.
Ta-da! Here's the completed look and it's outro time. I hope you enjoyed this video. You know what to do if you did. Also, you can follow me everywhere. Instagram, Twitter. No, I don't have Twitter. I lied. I never use Twitter. I don't know. Maybe it's like an Australian thing. I just don't know that many people of my friends that use Twitter anyway. I do have Tumblr, Pinterest, Visco, lots of other places that you can find me, Flickr. So if you would like to see more of me, you can catch me there. Also, say hello to your pets for me. Also, this is what my Instagram stories like.
God, it's brutal out here.
So if you want to see more, my dog's shaking. Anyway, if you want to see more of that kind of vibes, I do post every look before I post it here on Instagram. But yeah, I really like how classy this look came out. Anyway, catch you later. Love you lots. Bye.